Hey family, it's none other than Jylin. I am 22 years old and I am the mind behind the Diasporic African Community Building Project. I love saying that. Diasporic African Community Building Project. It's like music to my ears. Anyways, I'm jumping right into it. What I'm going to be doing here is giving you guys a little bit of my background. Then I'm going to go into showing you the land itself, some videos and pictures, and basically explaining to you guys the vision and what we're trying to build on it. Then I'm going to break down the process of how we intend to do that, and then also how this project will get the ball rolling to be able to develop other African owned lands and properties across the globe. So I'm gonna just jump right on into it. Put my glasses back on so I can see this paper. I am the oldest of eight, and on top of that, I am the oldest of all of my grandmother's grandchildren. Um, Education is my passion, not just any education, the proper education of African people, the true education of African people. Um, with that being said, my passion and my life purpose of educating is a major reason why I'm going to do what I'm going to do with this land, and I want to continue to do it with other properties as well. Um, I started my positive propaganda campaign project. I travel a lot. I'm always somewhere. I'm always doing something, and everywhere I'm at, I love to capture the essence, the positive, and beautiful essence of African people in these different places. So, my positive propaganda campaign is something that I've recently started. I'm going to kick it off with the footage that I've taken in Belize, and I'm going to also take some footage here in Guatemala, and all of these things, all these compilations will be released after all the celebrating that we're going to be doing as a people the last week of November. So, late December, early January, look out for the first videos of my positive propaganda project. Um, Also, I am an alkaline vegan chef known as Yo Favorite Auntie Jai's. Yes, that's Yo Favorite Auntie Jai's. And what I do is basically I promote actual truly healthy lifestyles and lifestyle changes for African people, showing us how to grow our own food, eat naturally, how to prepare these foods in the best ways. I do cooking lessons, catering, I do private chefing as well, meal prepping, all these things, anything to help you on your transitional journey toward the best you can be with your dietary needs. So that's just a little snippet of that. I've cooked for people like Young Pharaoh and Sarah Sunseti and different people involved in community building in the Long Beach, Compton area. I also am starting a live stream kind of cooking channel, but it's going to be on the web, so anybody can watch it anywhere. And look forward to that project kicking off within the next few months after I get back from Central America. Also, I've hosted Black Natural Hair Expos where I show Black women how to properly transition their hair from unnatural to natural. I teach the importance of our hair and loving it, and I give true education about it so that we can feel comfortable with knowing it, getting to know it, and loving it, as well as live hair tutorials. Black owned and operated products that work well, demonstrations, all kinds of stuff. And I've posted at least two expos at my old university, Washington State University, as well. I have a YouTube channel. It's my first and last name, and on there, I put a lot of different kinds of things on there, whether it be talking about health, whether it be talking about revolutionary things, spirituality, whether it be talking about different ways to help build the Black community and repair Black psychology. I've posted some shows that I've done on there, as well as some documentaries that I've created as well. Also, I try to support and buy Black as much as possible. Like back in college, they used to call me Black owned and operated because anytime someone's like, oh girl, that's cute, I like that. Oh, Black owned and operated, Black owned and operated, Black owned and operated, which by the way, all of these things that I'm wearing right now, besides my glasses, are Black owned and operated. So, um, I had a Feed a Freshman Foundation back when I was in university as well. I used my government resources, food stamps, to basically feed the people. I would host big dinners every Sunday and invite the entire Black community, no matter what class you were in. and I would host healthy dinners. And as I transitioned to vegan, basically the Black community kind of did too. But I would always, especially in the beginning, cook too much food, and I would take the leftovers to the Black freshmen and stuff as well, so that people, because their dorm life is crap. I'm sorry. The cafeterias that they have to eat from, the food is garbage. And then on top of that, they don't even have kitchens in the dorms. It was just a mess. So it really felt good to be able to use one of my talents and skills of cooking to be able to literally feed the people, and then also use these dinner conversation gathering areas to mentally stimulate and feed the people. Also, what else? I am a spoken word artist, but I also make different forms of music as well. I was known and particularly known for my revolutionary pieces where I'm talking about Black love, Black pride, and Black power. Um, with that being said, I'm also a naturalist and a minimalist and a survivalist. So I spend a ton of time in nature, in the jungles, in the mountains in California, in the rivers, and this and all these nooks and crannies where you find nothing but nature. You will also find me, and also you'll find me showing and experiencing and learning ways to be in harmony with nature, be in one with nature, and be able to survive in nature. I have started a garden as well. And on this particular property that we're going to be developing, I will also be having a large garden that's sustainable to feed the kids that will come and learn how to do these things. I'm getting sidetracked. Just know I create gardens. Um, what else? I am a self defense and combat training activist as well. Or I guess promotionalist. Not only do I participate in learning how to protect and defend myself, I advocate for other Black people, men and women, but especially Black women and children, to do the same. Um, I am an author, and right now I'm working on a comic book that is going to be really dope. It's going to be great for ages 12 and up, and be looking forward to that coming out within the next year or two. And I also was a dance teacher for a while as well, and a dance performer. You can look on my YouTube channel and see some of my college performances where I've done traditional Congolese dances, and I've also created some pieces myself and used some of my playnieces to help bring some more visions to life. So that's just a brief little something something about who I am, what I do, and what I've got going on. Take these back off now because I want you guys, I know there's a glare on these, I want you guys to be able to see me. Um, so with that said, I want to give you guys a little bit of a background and a history on this land. So we're going to jump right into that. This is me and my grandma standing on our land. My grandma is the person passing this land over to me to develop and make something for the future of her grandchildren, and also for the future of African people. Um, my grandmother's grandmother is the one who gave the land to her, and I believe her grandmother is the one who had bought the land, or her mother, or something of that nature. With it being said, it is a beautiful, beautiful place and space that really has some special properties to it. And I'm very honored and proud to say that, I will be the one to carry on this legacy. Within these trees, there was some fresh water down there. There is already a well there. My grandma's generosity has caused the neighbors to take advantage of it and soiled that source of water, but there are plenty of other places on the land that have water as well. So we can dig another well. There's also a pond in that group of trees we saw. This land is incredibly conducive to life. We already have different kinds of natural indigenous fruit trees and nut trees growing things there. There's a cashew tree there that's been there since the property was purchased. There is some mountain apples, a lot of hokota trees, and if you've never heard of hokota or hokoa, one of them, it tastes like candy. You will never want to eat candy again once you've had this natural fruit. With that being said, this particular land is located right off of the Caribbean Ocean, or the Caribbean Sea. It's high up on a cliff, so we don't really have to worry about things like, tsunamis or hurricanes or things like that, particularly here, because of the fact that, one, the ocean is incredibly shallow for miles. You know, in low tide, you're going to have to go about 3 miles out before the water will come up to your belly button. And in high tide, you're going to have to go, you know, about a mile and a half out before the water will go any deeper than your belly button. With that being said, this land is best and easiest accessed by boat. So what we do is we take a boat from Labuga Livingston. It's about a 10-minute boat ride, and Labuga Livingston is where I'm currently at. It's an incredibly beautiful place, very rich in African community and African culture here. A very strong Black African population with the Garifuna people and the Caribbean people who have migrated here as well. With that also being said, what we intend to put on top of this is going to go in perfect harmony with the natural environment. It's going to be able to be resistant to high winds. There's a ton of rainfall here during the raining season, and that water can be recycled as well and used to sustain the plumbing in the building that we plan on building, plus the natural spring waters. It's the best kind of water to drink, so the African inhabitants, once we dig a new well, we'll be able to have access to fresh, clean drinking water as well. There is a lot of amazing things here. This space has a lot of potential. What we want to do is build an aircrete dome home, which is, you'll find out more about that in the one of the links that I've posted on one of the updates on the GoFundMe page. And we want to build that home here to make sure that we'll have something that is water resistant, fire resistant, pest resistant, and also natural and eco-friendly. I think now would be a good time to tell you guys exactly what we're going to do here and exactly how it's going to work out. We found a way to develop these eco-friendly structures in a way that provides us with the hands-on training to do for self and the ownership of materials to share this knowledge and information and training with other Black people who own property. This method also includes a way for very helpful volunteer labor as well. By hosting an aircrete workshop, a simple initial investment of $10,000, $10,000 to $12,000, can have up to a minimum of $3,000 and up to a maximum of $5,000 return, which 65% of this will be reinvested in the next African-owned property that will develop and host a workshop and get their property developed and built for minimal costs as well. What happens is, in a matter of 10 days, a team of up to 35 people will pay the instructor of the workshop, which is outside of our Diasporic African Community Building Committee. We are actually going to be hosting a workshop, but we're not the workshop itself. But up to 35 people will pay the instructors of the workshop to come and hands-on learn how to make these eco-friendly, affordable structures over the course of 10 days. Because it is not often that 35 people sign up, and also the size of the structure built by the workshop is very small, we will be bringing our own team of at least 10 African people in as well to continue the construction for up to an additional 2 weeks after the workshop leaves. Don't get it twisted though. The workshop will take 10 days. The completion of this entire project will take up to about 3 months. A team of 3, including myself, will be hosted on the land with tents for 2 months prior to the workshop for purchasing permits, tilling the land, starting the garden, digging the new well. What else? We will be buying and gathering the materials necessary to host the workshop and to build the house, of course, the massive garden, and all the other little intricacies as well. We will be making the outdoor kiln from scratch out of clay. We will be starting to make some of the pottery and the natural weaving products and stuff as well, setting up the hammock stations, you know, marking exactly where the blueprints will be laying, purchasing blueprints, etc., etc. This team of 3, myself included, will be doing that 2 months prior to the actual hosting of the workshop. Let's see. The genius about this situation is the fact that it has the potential to really keep going. What we plan on building here is actually quite beautiful and beneficial to any Black person who can get here, and also to any Black person who owns property and would like their property to be next. Also to Black people who want to participate in something that will better their Black communities. Also to Black people who are invested in the future of their children's education and want to have resources available to be able to secure that. So basically, I'm gonna go over, I mean, and you can find all this information as well on the GoFundMe page in the description box. But I'm gonna go over it here since we have this video going already to let you guys know basically what we're trying to build on this particular property. When the owner, which is myself, is home, the land will be used as a place to teach Black youth ages 5 through 18 how to grow and sustain their own food, cook and eat vegan, use natural materials to make baskets and other things, how to build and use 100% natural from the earth, clay masonry, and stone masonry, and finally to teach African youth about global African communities, including major West African languages like Yoruba, Twi, Lingala, and domestic to this area African languages like Garifuna and Belizean Creole. With that being said, I already envision the Black students coming in from Livingston, just a 10-minute boat ride, daily for 3 months out of the summer, and they're coming in. I can see the little kids in the garden learning how to plant, learning how to harvest, learning the different properties. I have a lot of friends over here who are really into natural healing as well, and they will be showing me while I'm out here, because I'm currently in Guatemala right now, La Buga, Livingston, though I am a California native and I live in California. I'm out here for the next 3 months. With that being said, I have a lot of friends here that are going to be having me in the jungle, showing me how to identify herbs and roots and how to use them for their medicinal properties. And these same things will also be grown in the garden on the land as well. And we will have African children literally getting back to the roots, learning how to feed themselves, how to, take the knowledge that they learn on this compound, they can take it back to their villages and their own homes and things like that as well as learning about other African communities outside of theirs and building that connection, that unity concept, that idea that we're all just different puzzle pieces to the same whole. It's a beautiful vision, guys. And with the hall that we want to build outside of the home on the land as well, it'll be a great multi-purpose hall, whether it be a classroom setting, and when it's not used as a classroom setting, it can be used for hosting events and things like that. Another example of the way the land will be used and the facilities that we build will be used is that when the owner is not home, the space will be an Airbnb location for African people to enjoy an all-natural pre-colonial African space just off the shores of the beautiful Caribbean Sea, with a private tropical beach and an only 10-minute boat ride from La Buga, Livingston, Guatemala, which is a city with a strong African community and rich African Garifuna culture, and only a 40-minute boat ride from Punta Gorda, Belize, get them passports stamped, which is only by bus or car 3 hours away from Dangriga, which is the African culture capital of Belize. On top of that, I can definitely see this place being a honeymoon destination because we love Black love and we want to celebrate Black love. Black couples coming to this land, being able to eat, your food expenses are already taken care of because it's included in your Airbnb stay at this location. On top of that, it's secluded, it's private, it's serene. We've got the hall to host small destination weddings and whatnot. We can have them underneath the hall or like right there on the land. This place has so much potential to benefit not just the education of the future children, but also for all you grown folks out there who love to travel and want to see other strong Black places and who want to keep your money going within the Black community. And of course, because this land has been in my family for over 200 years, all we have to worry about is the taxes on it, which is incredibly small because it's been fixed from the first purchase of the land. And since it's been passed through family, the taxes have not changed since the 1800s. So anytime people come and they book this Airbnb location, anytime people come and they pay to utilize these facilities, Black people come, because Black people will have the priority. The money that they invest in it will keep going and keep going in the building of other Black properties. I'm gonna make it official right now here on video. You know, 65%, 65% of any money going to the property, once it's built, whether it be, hosting it or using it to host small gatherings, using it to host people for Airbnb and hotel stays or small retreats and things like that. 65% of the money that you will be paying will be going towards the developing of another African property, in other African communities. So keep that in mind as well. Also, and aside from donating, please, please, please share this video with anybody else who might be interested in what we're doing here and what we're trying to build, and you think might want more information on what we're trying to do as well. So as usual, Black love, Black pride, Black power. You have to know yourself, to love your people, and I look forward to your contribution to creating a better African tomorrow. Peace.